You went to Furman.
I
Uh,
did.
when did you graduate, and why did you start your career at Furman?
I graduated from Furman in no in 2000, in 2004, which seems like a really really long time ago, but that's okay. I'm aging like fine wine.
Man,
Graduated in '04, and I first heard about Furman when I was in class, I think in English class in high school, and another student I was in class with mentioned something about Furman, and like something inside was like, huh, we should look into that. So, like something just kind of like nudged me a little
yeah,
bit. So I went online and was like, oh wow, this is really beautiful. I think I'm gonna, you know, check this out and see what happens. And I just had such a great visit. I had such a great audition experience, and the faculty was so warm and welcoming, and it's Furman. It's beautiful. The
it is
swans. It was the
beautiful.
swans.
It was the
No,
Swans. No, that's what sold me too was the Swans. So
it was just a wonderful overall experience. So,
that's awesome.
yeah.
Um, um, do you remember anything in particular that shaped your career path during your time at Furman?
Um, Anything in particular? I just remember just getting a good, solid education. I remember, I used to love walking into the building and hearing music everywhere all the time. Just wonderful, nurturing faculty. It was just a magical 4 years. It was
That is,
absolutely, absolutely wonderful.
I'm so glad that you enjoyed your 4 years there. Um, did you know what major you were going to be whenever you decided on Furman?
I did actually. I auditioned for the piano program, and I graduated with a Bachelor of Music in Piano Performance.
Very cool.
So that's really cool.
Yes. Um, my next question is when did you decide to join the Air Force?
Um, I think it was about 2013. I was teaching music at a private school in Florida, and
Okay.
I went to a national music teachers conference in Nashville, and I heard the Army Field Chorus perform and was blown away.
Mm,
And I didn't know military music existed before then. So I was just floored because I didn't know what to expect. I'm like, oh, here's a bunch of Army people singing.
yeah.
Cool, let's
Right.
check this out. And I was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. Okay, okay. So I went home and I was curious to see if the Air Force offered anything similar
Mhm.
because my dad is retired Air Force. So I thought, how cool would that
Very
be to,
cool.
and I went online and found this singing sergeant. So I was like, huh,
Very
great. So I signed
different.
up for their newsletter. And about a year later, they had an opening for a mezzo position. And so I thought, why not? Literally,
Great.
what do I have to lose? Let's see what happens. Let's go to DC and sing for these people. I didn't know what to expect.
That is
I
so
really wanted it, but I was like, it's such a lofty goal. I don't know what's going to happen, but might as well try, right?
great. Are you from South Carolina?
I am not. I kind of feel like I am. I was there for about 11 years total between undergrad and grad school. And then I taught for 3 years at Claflin University,
Okay.
um, and then left. So I was there a good chunk of time.
Where, if you don't mind me asking, where are you from?
Like I said, my dad was Air Force. So I was born in Georgia, but
Okay.
moved around a good bit. Lived in
Military
Georgia and
brat.
Oklahoma, New Mexico, Germany, then back to Georgia, and then
Wow.
went to school in South Carolina. Yeah.
My next question is, what is your current MOS? And has it changed since you joined the Air Force?
So I'm in the premier band in Washington, D.C.
Mhm.
as a vocalist for the Singing Sergeants. That is my title. It has not changed and it will not change.
Okay.
So I auditioned for this specific job first,
Okay.
and then I enlisted to be in the Air Force.
Afterwards. Very
So they knew from day one, like this is my paper that says I have this job waiting for me.
mhm.
So I'm not going to be a pilot. I'm not going to, this is what I'm here to do.
Mhm.
So
That
yeah.
is awesome. And I feel like a lot of people overlook the military as a career option because they think that they don't have an option once they get into the military. Um, and I think especially with the Air Force, and I don't mean that to be in any way offensive, but you definitely have more of a choice in what you're doing. And I think
Absolutely.
that is very cool. And don't tell anybody I said this, but if I could go back and do it all over again,
Is it
I
still
would
being recorded?
I would have done the Air Force.
I
Unfortunately,
absolutely
it's
love
still
it.
being
We'll just cut that part out. It's
yeah,
fine.
it's gonna
It's
be
fine. Snip, snip.
uh, what have been some of the biggest challenges of your career path?
Biggest challenges trying to merge military life with my quirky artistic side, which
Mhm.
is, that's who I am. So sometimes there's like my brain is like, this
This
is not
doesn't add
computing.
up.
So there's that, but I'm learning to navigate that more gracefully. Um, Learning to sing in different styles. I'm classically trained. I took lessons with Gail Schoonmaker when I was at Furman.
Very cool.
And first of all, I never thought I would make a living as a singer. That was never my plan. Didn't think it would happen. I thought I'd sing on the side. I'd sing at church. This is fun. I love doing it. So classically trained. And then I get this job and they're like, oh, it'd be really cool if you could sing pop. What? You want me to do what now? Which is, it's totally different, but I'm having fun learning how to explore different parts of my voice and learning how to belt. And it's great. I
That
love it.
is so cool.
It's definitely been a challenge.
They have
Because
you
it was
singing pop?
I'm sorry.
They have you singing pop?
Oh, pop stuff. We do patriotic stuff. We do some jazz tunes, musical theater. Like it runs the gamut. So to be able to be flexible and to sing in multiple styles is really helpful.
Yeah. Wow. I guess I didn't really realize how expansive like military choirs got. So that is cool. Um, what was your audition for them like? Like, what did they want from you whenever you were auditioning?
That was the longest day of my life.
Yeah.
I showed up at the squadron at 8 in the morning, and I think I didn't leave till like 7 p.m. and was like just exhausted. I might have had a granola bar. Like it was just a long, long day. So they had us prepare, I think, 4 things. We had to be able to sing the national anthem a cappella, which sounds like piece of cake. So we had to do that. We had to prepare 1 operatic aria in a different language, in a foreign language.
Fun.
We had to prepare some choral pieces,
Mhm.
and then members of the singing sergeants would come in and sing with us to hear how well we were able to blend with other people.
Very cool.
It's not intimidating at all.
Very nerve-wracking.
And we had to pick 1 more song selection of our choice, something that was either pop, jazz, or country, I believe was the requirement at that time.
What's your like favorite genre of music to sing?
I'm still trying to figure that out, actually. I love doing pop stuff with a little bit of soul influence.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love jazz standards. I love a lot of things. So everything. Give it to me. Give it all to me.
I find like as another mezzo that I like things that are more soulful because it's easier to like
Oh yeah. Give me that chest voice.
comfortable in my register.
Yes.
So, yeah. Let me see what else is. Oh, so this question. You recently played a very important role as Vice President Kamala Harris, and I would like to know what that experience was like.
It was so cool. It was crazy. It was unexpected. I got a call from a chief in my building, and she was like, I want to put your name forward for this. And first I was like, no, why? Within a day later, I was like, okay, sure. Put my name in. That doesn't mean I'm going to be picked. Just why not?
Right.
Like the audition. Why not? Let's see what happens. And they picked me. I had an interview over the phone, so that was fun. But the day itself was so amazing, just surreal. to ride in the motorcade through DC, sirens blaring and police escort, to get to walk the steps that I knew 2 days later that President Biden and Vice President would get to walk. It was just like, what is my job?
Yeah.
It's
That
very cool.
is so cool. Like, I had no idea that something like that even existed.
I'm learning so much.
Yeah. That is like so cool. What exactly did that entail? Like, what was I guess, like, what was the point? Like, what was your role?
My role was to help all of the people behind the scenes, like the White House staff and the photographers and everyone who's like shuffling
Mm-hmm.
the president to be and the vice president to be around. So they purposely didn't tell us a lot of information
Right.
other than show up at this time, look nice,
Mm-hmm.
and go where you're told to go.
Mm-hmm.
Because they wanted to force, the people in charge to be able to know where you're going here at this time, and you're going to stand here, and he's going to be on the left, and you're going to be on the right, or vice versa, and then you're going to get in the car, and we're going to go to the cemetery, like all this sequence of events that you don't necessarily see. There's a whole lot happening. It was very cool. So I just showed up and looked pretty and stood where they told me to stand.
Sounds like it's not much different than like a normal day in the life. So
Casual Wednesday,
yeah.
hanging out at the
Right.
Capitol. Why
Right.
not?
Gosh, that is so cool. I am so jealous. That sounds phenomenal.
It was great.
What do you have any favorite performances?
There's so many I love. The one I look forward to the most is our Christmas concert at Constitution Hall, which is so much fun. They bring kids in for an early morning performance, and just to have that energy in the room, there's just nothing like it. Screaming children, and we sing carols, and they're just so excited. Also, to be out of school, but to sing carols.
Right.
That's my favorite. Another really memorable experience was singing the national anthem at the Nat Stadium for the Home Run Derby. I want to say it was 2018. I think it was 2018.
Okay.
And I'm not a sports person. I appreciate it, but it's not like I'm gonna watch the sport and follow it,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, Home Run Derby. I don't know what that is, but I know the anthem. Sure, I will sing it. And it was like during a time when most of my colleagues were out of town. So I was like, fine, I'll do it. No big deal. It is a big deal. And the thing that was most memorable about it was they had fireworks, which nobody told me was going to happen. And there was pyrotechnics happening.
Yes.
So there's smoke everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
which when you're a singer, it's kind of like, I was like, please, Lord, do not let me choke during this literally choke on the smoke right now in this performance that's being televised nationally. Like, not.
Yeah. Wow. I wouldn't have ever even thought.
It was a lot.
Yeah, I bet. Oh my
And the
God.
video guy was like really close to me, but of course you can't see that, but I just wasn't prepared for all that. It was a lot.
I bet you there were a lot of people in that stadium too.
There were a lot of people.
Was that one of the largest crowds that you think you've performed to?
Yes.
What is the average size crowd that you think that you have performances for?
Average size. I'm so terrible with numbers, but
That's okay.
several hundred.
Okay.
That's
We're
able to go on tour, which I hope we can next year.
Oh yes, I know. I can't wait. I hope things go back to normal so soon. I'm so ready. So ready.
Me too.
Oh my gosh. There's 2 more questions. Do you have a favorite Furman memory?
A favorite Furman memory? There may or may not have been some fountain hopping.
Oh my gosh.
No, I never did that. No, it's just meeting wonderful, amazing people that I still keep in touch with. It's just great. just overall the whole thing, and having professors nurture and push me,
Mhm.
especially when I wasn't feeling like maybe this is too hard, or maybe I should, they were always like, no, you can do this, you
Yeah,
got this, you're wonderful. Just having that nudge,
right.
that constant all the time. It's
That's
just
good.
invaluable.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I am double majoring right now in politics and music and have
Wow.
no prior music theory anything. Like it wasn't something that my high school chorus teacher like did.
Right.
Um so I got there my first semester and I was like, what am I doing? With with my life? Like I've never gotten like below a B in anything, and I was like looking at C's and D's on my music theory stuff, and I was like, this is insane. Um, but they, the professors are very encouraging and very like, it's okay, like you can do it, like there's plenty of help. And so I will say that that is definitely a positive quality at Furman.
Absolutely.
Yes. Um, Finally, what advice would you give to current Furman students, especially those from the music department, about formulating their career path?
Number one thing I would say is have an open mind. Never stop learning, have an open mind. Look, don't be afraid to explore things that might be slightly outside of your comfort zone. That took me a long time to
Yeah,
learn that lesson, but I'm glad I finally was like, let's try this.
yeah,
I think that's just never stop learning
right.
and branch out and just seize as many opportunities as you can.
Yeah, yeah. That is great. That's great advice. Like, what do you do like outside of music? Like, do you have hobbies like?
Outside? No.
I
Yeah,
know. It's like
yeah.
all consuming,
That's
but
another good piece of advice. Develop hobbies.
hmm
You never know. Like, I remember being a student on Furman, and just it's so intense, and there's so much studying and there's so much practicing all the time. But
yes,
when you get a chance, find other things that you like to do.
yeah,
I love to read. I love to cook. I love. Um, I don't love running, but I'll do it.
hmm
I love lifting weights. Um, a group of friends and I have been getting together for the past year, actually hanging out at a friend's house outside. They have a big deck and lots of yard space. So we get together and we'll cook stuff and bring it and
Oh,
hang out outside, even if it's like 30 degrees,
yeah,
just because we can't do anything else
right.
right now.
Social interaction is like,
It's so important.
yes,
Yeah.
it's
So
very,
find things that you like to do.
that's
I
awesome.
took up sewing at one point.
Really?
I
I
did.
need to learn how to sew so
Very
badly.
useful.
It was the
Yeah.
one thing that I wish I would have learned in high school. I mean, there were multiple things that I wish I would have actually learned in high school, but like that was one of the main ones. Thank you very much for letting me interview you.
You're welcome.
Uh,
This was fun.
yeah, I agree. I agree.